Google just hit back because VEO 3.1 might be the most powerful AI video model we've ever seen, and it dropped just days after OpenAI revealed Sora 2. But here's the real question. Which one should you be using to get the absolute best results right now? Imagine being able to create cinematic ads, short films or social content, all without hiring a single crew member or even touching a camera. These AI tools don't just make videos, they understand vision, style, and emotion on a level we've never seen before. And honestly, if you're not experimenting with this stuff, you're already falling behind the creators who are. I'm Jack, I've been a VFX artist in the advertising industry for over a decade now, and I've worked for many of the biggest brands on the planet. In this video, I'll break down exactly how VEO 3.1 stacks up against Sora 2, what each model does best, where they fall short, and how to get the most insane results from both tools. And if you do enjoy today's content, guys, make sure to whack a like on there for me, consider subscribing, and of course, ring that bell notification icon. With that being said, let's get straight into it. So to access both VEO 3.1 and Sora 2, we're going to be using Artlist. The platform has access to the highest quality AI image and video generators, as well as a varied library of tools and assets tailored towards advertising and filmmaking. You can see we have the option to create AI voiceovers. There's a library of music, footage, and sound effects. I know a lot of you guys in the comment section are always pretty interested in these platforms that combine all of the different AI tools. So if you do want to go ahead and check out Artlist, be sure to click the link down below in the description. So on the homepage here, we want to go up to the top left-hand corner and click on the AI image and video tab. You can see we've got this incredibly varied style catalog that we can explore. But if I click on the My Creations tab, you can see everything that I've generated inside of Artlist. Now, to really put Sora 2 and VEO 3.1 through their paces, I wanted to design an entirely new product. And what I settled on was this Nova energy drink, which I generated right here inside of Artlist using the image generator right at the top of the page. You can see I had a whole load of really great generations. My personal favorite, and the one that we used for the intro, was this particular one here. And if you're interested, you can see the prompt that I used to generate our Nova energy drink just on the screen right now. I'll also be sure to put all of the prompts down below in the video description. But with this prompt, we got a really nice, vibrant, interestingly branded can of energy drink here. And I deliberately made the artwork on the can quite complex because this is going to be difficult for our video models to deal with. I'm not really about giving AI an easy time. I really try to put it through its paces with every opportunity that I get so you guys can really see its pros and cons brutally. Now, to create these pretty amazing images, I was using Nano Banana, and to access this within Artlist, you want to go to the top panel here and select image to image, and you can see Nano Banana is selected by default. So selecting Nano Banana, we can go ahead and upload our image of the Nova energy drink. And I also have this pretty terrible image reference of myself that I just shot on my phone, and we're just going to drag and drop this in as well. And this really is just to prove to you guys that you don't have to have some really amazing well-lit portrait of yourself. You can just shoot something on your phone and it will work pretty well as an image reference. So we now have our reference of our character and our product, so we now need to input our text prompt. And this is generally what I like to do when it comes to AI filmmaking and advertising. We're creating these images to act as our starting frames for our video generators. You'll see later on in the video though that we have to work a slightly different way when it comes to Sora 2, but we still get some pretty amazing results. So I thought it'd be fun to generate an entirely new image or scene with you guys during the video right now. So I've just dropped in this prompt here, full body shot of a bearded man running through a jungle, desperately holding a can of Nova energy drink. The bearded man has a terrified expression. He's being chased by a pack of angry baboons. He wears a dark grey baseball cap worn backwards with the adjustable strap and plastic buckle visible above his forehead. He wears thin gold wireframe glasses with rounded rectangular lenses and has dark brown eyes. He has a short buzz cut hairstyle, photoreal, ultra detailed skin texture, visible pores, cinematic composition, harsh shadows. And you can see the level of detail that we're giving to Nano Banana along with our image references. So let's go ahead and generate some options to take a look at here. So you can see that we've got some nice generations back from Nano Banana. I particularly like this one here, but I do want to try and refine it a little bit. So if we hover over the image, you can see we have the option to transform. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and it's going to populate this area at the top of the screen. And what I'm going to ask Nano Banana to do is to darken the can the man is holding so it feels more integrated in the scene. Because if we look at the image we generated, I'm not too sure. The bottom half of the can feels okay, but in general, it just doesn't feel like it's properly composited into the scene and matching the lighting. It seems a little bit oversaturated. So let's see what Nano Banana can do to improve our generation. And just by tweaking the text prompt slightly, adding on the end, it needs to feel part of the environment, we got back this generation here, which is looking pretty good now. Now, if we hover over our chosen generation, you can see we also have an option to upscale or animate. Now, generally speaking, we do want the highest resolution image to act as our starting frame. So I am going to go ahead and spend 10 credits on doing an upscale. And you can see that within a couple of seconds, we have back our upscaled image and it looks so much better. A lot more texture there. Our product and our character both feel nice and consistent, and there's a good level of quality. And now we can go ahead and hover over our chosen image again and select the animate tab. And you'll see we've now switched to image to video at the top here. And Artlist has actually filled in a suggested prompt here. Of course, it's up to you whether you choose to go with Artlist suggestion or you want to have a little bit more control and you've already decided how you want the scene to play out. Now, because I want to put VEO 3.1 through its paces, I want to write my own specific text prompt. And at the bottom, you can see we can select from various models. We've got access to Kling, Sora 2, and of course VEO 3.1. We have the normal version as well as the fast. I just generally use fast. I think the difference is pretty negligible. We can select how long we want our generation to be. So I'm going to go for 8 seconds. And we can also select the output resolution. Of course, we want the highest possible 1080p full HD. So we're going to be putting VEO 3.1 through its paces here with our chosen text prompt, which reads: the scene transitions between close-ups of the drink, the man's face, and the environment around him, capturing intricate details and creating a feeling of immersion. I think maybe we'll just add on the end, the man looks scared, the baboons look angry. And we'll set this generation off and see what we get back. And with this style of text prompt, generally from VEO 3.1, you're going to get back what feels a little bit like a self-contained story, even within that 8-second period. I think we'll also set off one more because it's always handy to act as a point of comparison. Okay, so we've got back our generation, so let's go ahead and take a look. So you can see that there is a lot of world building going on here, and that's exactly what I was trying to get from that specific text prompt. And this for me is where you might start to see some similarities between Sora 2 and VEO 3.1, because their ability to flesh out a scene and make it feel both immersive and consistent from a very simple text prompt is pretty impressive. And there's a lot of amazing things happening within this generation when we talk about physics and realistic textures. The sound effects and music that VEO 3.1 added, there's a lot to be impressed with here. Let's go ahead and check out our second generation. Again, really quite cool. I think we're starting to see a couple of issues in terms of a lack of character consistency. I have my back to the camera at one point, and when I turn back around, it doesn't really look as much like me, but there's also a lot to love here. I just want to hold on this frame here and just admire some of the textural details, the water droplets on my glasses. Look at the strands of the beard, the water droplets on the can. Yeah, there is some pretty crazy stuff happening here. And I think if I were to use this generation, I would be selective about the parts that I think work and the parts that I think don't. And for me, that kind of separates AI slop from AI filmmaking. You have to understand that not every generation you get back from every model is going to be any good, and also that it might just be snippets from within the generation that work for what you want. You have to be selective about what you do and don't use, and within both these generations, I think there are some pretty good scenes that we could take out and use within a short film or an advert. Now I do want to go ahead and show you guys some of the other VEO 3.1 generations that I got. We of course had to go ahead and test out some of the speech capabilities within the model, so we can check this one out here.
Google just dropped VEO 3.1, making AI video generation even more insane.
Some really great lip syncing here. You can see that our product stays very consistent throughout this generation as well. This is quite a fun one where I'm riding a wave made up of bananas.
And combined with Nano Banana, you can have any character interact with any product you choose.
Amazing demonstration here of physics and kind of world understanding. We're finding that the consistency in terms of our product is going a little bit wonky. And what I noticed throughout this project is that the further your product is from the camera, the more you start to introduce issues. And to counter that, I want to show you guys this generation here because this is insane.
And combined with Nano Banana, you can have any character interact with any product you choose.
Of course, it doesn't sound like me, but also VEO 3.1 doesn't know what I sound like, so that's kind of fair enough. But my expressions, the way that my mouth is moving as I talk, the lighting, the little glints and reflections on our Nova energy drink can are insanely accurate. And because the product is so close to camera, it stays really consistent. Show you guys this example here as well, because this contains loads of great examples of both pros and cons. So another really good example of when you should be selective by picking out key moments that work from your generations. So when I bring the can to camera here, that's incredible. But when we cut to this guy, that is not me. However, I do really like this cutaway where I'm out of focus, but the viewer's attention is being drawn towards the sharks in the water. So for me personally, where VEO 3.1 shines is in its cinematic compositions and the level of quality you can get. So we're talking about things like textures, fine particles, realistic lighting and motion. You're going to get some really impressive results from Google's video model in terms of these applications. However, you might lose some character and product consistency along the way. So the key takeaway here for me, if you want to use VEO 3.1 for product ads, is to keep your product close to the camera, like you can see here. The further away your product gets, the more it's going to be a little bit muddied, particularly when it comes to our kind of very complex branding, this really strange artwork that we have on the cam where there's a lot going on. And that brings us nicely on to Sora 2. So let's go ahead and check out some of our generations here. The text prompt that I reused multiple times was ultra realistic UGC style content of an attractive female content creator trying the Nova drink for the first time and having an excited, favorable reaction.
Energy drink, look at that can, it's so fun. Let's see what it's about. Oh wow, that is so good. It's fruity, a little tart, super fresh.
So there's a few wonky things going on there. Let's check out the next one.
Ah, that's so good. It's like fruity, but kind of...
So some of the dialogue is being cut off, and that's because a lot of these generations were only 4 seconds in length. So don't expect Sora to understand that you want to wrap up the dialogue in that time. But I do want to say some of these results are incredibly realistic. You can see in this generation here, our product stays very consistent. So the workflow here was to upload our reference of our product. We can go ahead and select the Sora 2 model. And you'll see here, this is the major drawback when it comes to Sora. With Sora, uploaded images containing realistic people can't be used for generation. So unlike VEO 3.1, where we were able to create a starting image with my likeness, we can't do that with Sora. But the upside is that your Sora 2 generations are going to feel incredibly realistic, where your VEO 3.1 might feel a little bit more cinematic or stylized. So let's check out a few more of these.
Oh wow, that's so good. It's like fruity but crisp, I'm obsessed.
Now, this is a great example when it comes to product consistency working really well here. And those reflections on the can look incredible.
Oh wow, that's crazy good. Bright, fruity, super smooth. I'm into it.
First time trying Nova, how wild this can is. Oh, that's crazy good, like instant boost.
And now we go ahead and start testing some direct comparisons here using very similar text prompts. So for example, we have our VEO 3.1 generation of me skydiving. Let's take a look at this. So very cool, very dynamic, but a slight lack of character consistency there. But let's check out some of our Sora generations.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Second skydiving generation
Okay,
here.
Nova and free fall. Here we go. Oh wow, that is so good. It's sweet, kind of fruity, and super refreshing. I did not expect it to taste.
So cool how consistent our product stays. We've got the skydiver doing the old thumbs up, and the drinks can comes right up close to the camera. Some of these meditation style tests
Mine's
as
still
well.
body strong, and somehow this can is still up there. If you need a little extra focus at altitude, Nova's got you.
And whilst the world building here is really quite impressive, this is actually a really great example of one of the downsides when it comes to Sora 2. What you get with OpenAI's video model is something that does feel very realistic, but the videos themselves are very compressed. Even though their resolution is decent, there's a lot of compression happening here, and it gives the feeling that the content was shot on somebody's phone. You're going for something that feels more imperfect, but also more true to life. But you do get this strange kind of painterly animation with a lot of your Sora 2 generations. I'm going to try and zoom in here to the background mountains and maybe like slow the video down so you guys can pay attention to this. But that's just the thing with Sora 2. It's a lot more realistic, but it's also lower quality. The fidelity and sharpness is definitely lacking. So that for me means it's more tailored towards UGC, user generated content. And you'll notice as well that a lot of the Sora 2 generated clips that are going viral feel like UGC style content. Videos that have been shot on people's phones, kind of amateur content creator vibe, you know, dash cam or body cam videos, CCTV, Ring doorbell shots. All of these styles work really well when it comes to Sora. And some of my favorite images we got from Nano Banana and video generations we got from VEO 3.1 were of me sitting in this rubber ring in the lava pool. So it's only fair to test out similar prompts using Sora 2. So let's take a look at this one here.
Hey guys, I'm literally chilling in a lava pool right now, and I brought back up this Nova energy drink. Look how fun this can is. That's crisp, kind of fruity, and it hits quick.
So there are a couple of issues with lip syncing here where she brings the can to her lips and she's still talking, but the product consistency and the physics of the lava pool are pretty amazing. And even though it's not perfect, when the can comes right up to camera, it goes into focus and our product is looking pretty consistent. So to wrap up the video now, guys, which is better, VEO 3.1 or Sora 2? There's actually not a very simple answer for this. It really does depend on your use case. If you're looking to make very cinematic, high quality films, VEO 3.1 is going to be the way to go. If you're after user generated content or shots that feel incredibly realistic and you're willing to sacrifice some of the quality and sharpness for that, then Sora is going to be the way to go. Really, my general rule when it comes to all AI tools is play to each of their strengths. If you lean into their weaknesses, you try to force them to do things that they're not very good at, you're obviously going to struggle. And if you want to be proficient in AI advertising or filmmaking, you want to be using a combination of different tools. VEO 3.1 and Sora 2 are both great at different things. Using them together is incredibly powerful. In the same way that traditional filmmakers will use different tools, you can do that too. If you guys have enjoyed today's video, make sure to whack a like on there for me. Consider subscribing and of course, ring that bell notification icon so you never miss any future uploads. Do be sure to drop a comment down below and let me know what is your favorite video model, VEO 3.1 or Sora 2. If you have any questions at all, drop them down below as well. I do try to reply to as many of your comments as I possibly can, guys. Appreciate all of the support on the videos and I'll catch you on the next one.